February 2025, the statistics shocked Western military planners. 65% of Russian tank losses now come from FPV drones, not Javelin missiles. Ukraine's $500 quadcopters destroy $8 million tanks at ranges exceeding 10 miles, triple the Javelin's maximum 2.8-mile range. Russian crews no longer fear the top attack missiles Western media celebrated in 2022. They fear the persistent buzzing overhead. Cheap commercial drones modified to drop explosives through turret roofs that even modern armor cannot protect. According to defense analysis, FPV operators hover a few inches away from the barrel before detonating a shaped charge, destroying artillery at 20-kilometer range using tactics no traditional anti-tank weapon can replicate. Ukrainian drone pilots target specific weak points: optics, turret ring, engine compartment, tracks. A single strike might not kill the tank outright, but it achieves mobility kills, leaving 60-ton steel coffins stranded on battlefields where follow-up drones systematically destroy helpless targets. Russia adapted through hedgehog armor, thousands of metal wires protruding from frames, detonating incoming drones at safe distances. Ukraine's copying the same designs now. If you want to see how $500 drones replace $200,000 Javelins as Ukraine's primary tank killer, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This is the anti-tank revolution that surprised everyone, including Russian troops. The numbers devastate traditional anti-tank doctrine. According to 1945 military analysis, current estimates are that 65% of armored vehicle losses are now the result of strikes by FPV and other small drones. The ATGMs, Javelin, NLAW, TOW account for the remaining 35%. This reverses 2022's battlefield, where Ukrainian forces famously destroyed Russian mechanized columns using Western missiles. What changed? Economics and range. According to after-action reports, Javelin was designed more than 30 years ago when the electronics technology it was based on was some of the highest priced in the world. Modern electronics from commercial off-the-shelf sectors offer better performance at much lower price. FPV drones cost as low as $500. They knock out tanks over 10 miles away. Javelin's maximum range? Less than 3 miles. The soldier firing Javelin must also be able to visually acquire the target before locking on, exposing themselves to counterfire. FPVs eliminate exposure risk. According to reporting, operators fly drones far beyond the operator's line of sight and into an area where targets may or may not be located, beyond hills, behind terrain offering protection. The drones search autonomously. When they identify targets, operators guide precision strikes from bunkers kilometers away. Russian tanks cannot shoot back at operators they cannot locate. The warhead comparison reveals tactical trade-offs. FPVs use much smaller warheads, which means several FPVs may be needed to destroy a single target. But at $500 per shot versus $200,000 Javelin, Ukraine can afford wastage. According to Birds of Magyar official statistics analyzed by David Hambling, it takes on average 7 drone sorties to destroy a target. That's 7 times $500 equals $3,500 to destroy an $8 million tank. A 2,285 to 1 cost exchange ratio favoring Ukraine. Acceptable losses when domestic production delivers 400,000 FPVs monthly. Here's what surprises Russian troops. Modern tanks are extremely well armored on all sides except turret roofs. According to ORF analysis, unarmored turret roofs present a unique tactical opportunity, an opportunity that drones are perfectly poised to exploit. Earlier, only top-tier attack ATGMs, such as TOW-2B and Javelin, could exploit this weakness. Such systems are costly to field, difficult to deploy, and relatively rare. Drones solve all those problems. According to Defense Ukraine analysis, FPV operators have become adept tank hunters, exploiting vulnerabilities of even the most modern main battle tanks. Tactics involve targeting specific weak points: optics, turret ring, engine compartment, or tracks. But the turret roof remains the priority. Drop explosives through the unarmored top, and the blast penetrates crew compartments, killing everyone inside or triggering ammunition explosions. The technical execution requires precision. According to reporting, drones hover a few inches away from the barrel before detonating a shaped charge, meaning operators must maintain stable flight at extremely close range to position warheads correctly. For artillery destruction at 20 kilometers range, this demands extraordinary pilot skill. One twitch of the controller sends the drone crashing prematurely. But Ukrainian operators train relentlessly, and the results speak for themselves: 65% of tank kills. The mobility kill strategy compounds effectiveness. According to analysis, a single FPV strike, especially with standard RPG warhead, may not always result in a catastrophic kill that destroys the tank outright. But it's often sufficient to achieve mobility kill by damaging tracks or engine, leaving heavily armored vehicles stranded and vulnerable. Once immobilized, Ukrainian forces have options: systematic FPV strikes. Multiple drones attack at leisure without the tank fleeing. Grenade-dropping drones precisely drop munitions into open hatches or ventilation. Artillery targeting. Stationary targets are easy kills for conventional fire. Infantry assault. Disabled tanks cannot escape approaching Ukrainian soldiers. Think about that nightmare from a Russian tanker's perspective. Your 60-ton vehicle sits helpless, tracks destroyed by a $500 drone. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones orbit overhead, coordinating follow-up strikes. You hear buzzing. Another FPV approaches. Hatches are closed, but ventilation grills remain vulnerable. The crew debates: abandon the tank and flee across open ground under drone surveillance, or wait inside hoping reinforcements arrive before the next drone finds the killing angle. But here's the surprise: Ukrainian drones often miss. According to official Birds of Magyar statistics from March 2025, analyzed by David Hambling, it takes, on average, 7 drone sorties to destroy a target. That means 6 drones miss, fail, get shot down, or achieve non-lethal damage before the 7th scores the kill. This inefficiency would bankrupt traditional weapon systems. For FPV warfare, it's acceptable losses. According to reporting, Ukraine produces around 400,000 explosive first-person view drones every month. A typical drone regiment might expend more than 10,000 FPVs a month. At 7-to-1 kill ratios, that regiment destroys approximately 1,428 targets monthly. If even half those targets are armored vehicles worth $2 to $8 million each, the value destroyed vastly exceeds production costs. The statistics reveal broader patterns. According to trench art analysis, most sorties are one-way attacks by FPV drones. Others involve reusable heavy drones dropping grenades or mines. The one-way attacks, kamikaze drones deliberately crashing into targets, represent complete platform loss. But $500 lost per strike attempt remains economically sustainable when targets cost thousands of times more. Why 7 strikes? According to military analysis, electronic warfare disrupts navigation. Russian jamming forces course corrections, some drones crash before reaching targets. Target evasion. Tanks can move, change direction, deploy smoke obscuring operators' vision. Countermeasures: anti-drone guns, shotguns, machine gun fire from accompanying infantry. Operator skill variance. Not all pilots achieve expert-level precision under combat stress. Weather interference. Wind, rain, snow degrade control signal quality. Hedgehog armor. Russian anti-drone protection detonates some FPVs prematurely. But the 7-strike average also proves Ukrainian persistence. Russian crews know if one drone misses, 6 more are coming. The psychological pressure devastates morale. Tankers cannot relax, cannot assume they survived, cannot feel safe, even inside modern armor specifically designed to protect against anti-tank threats. Russia's adaptations surprised Western observers. According to Euromaidan Press, Russian forces became the war's leading innovators in vehicle protection through iterative armor development. The evolution: cope cages, 2022. Crude metal frames welded onto turrets attempting to detonate drones before hitting armor. Moderately effective. Turtle tanks, 2023 to 2024. Armored boxes encasing entire turrets, protecting crew but limiting visibility and weapon traverse. Hedgehog armor, November 2025. Thousands of metal wires welded to add-on metal frame protruding a foot or more that detonate incoming FPV drones a safe distance from vehicle's hull. Porcupine tanks, October 2025. Metal shells creating ungainly appearance but helping vehicles survive multiple drone strikes, sometimes dozens or scores. According to analysis, it's telling that more Ukrainian units are adding hedgehog armor to their own vehicles, acknowledging Russian innovation superiority in passive protection. The armor looks ridiculous from a distance, as though a vehicle is wearing bulky, badly made wig. But it works. The protruding wires can detonate incoming first-person view drones a safe distance from vehicle's hull. It may not defeat every drone, but it doesn't have to. The engineering creates layered defense. According to Euromaidan reporting, most Russian vehicles have layer upon layer of add-on anti-drone protection, combining multiple systems simultaneously. A typical protected tank features hedgehog wire frames on turret and hull, slat armor protecting flanks and rear, reactive armor tiles for kinetic penetrators, smoke grenade launchers for visual obscuration, electronic warfare emitters disrupting drone signals. The weight penalty limits mobility. Heavily protected tanks move slower, consume more fuel, stress suspensions beyond design specifications. But Russian commanders accept trade-offs. Better slow survivable tank than fast destroyed tank. According to Royal United Services Institute analysis, Russian adaptations have aggregated individual improvements combining into new culture of innovation that has transformed the Russian military. FPV drones evolved beyond tactical tank killing. According to Defense Ukraine documentation, Operation Spiderweb in June 2025 marked clear shift for FPV drone from purely tactical weapon to instrument capable of achieving operational and even strategic effects. Ukrainian operatives smuggled FPV drones deep into Russian territory, launched them from concealed positions inside modified civilian trucks, conducted simultaneous strikes on multiple Russian strategic air bases, destroying or damaging valuable long-range bombers. The technical execution demonstrates sophistication. According to West Point's Combating Terrorism Center analysis, drones were piloted remotely by 4 GLTE connection over Russian cell phone system. They also had backup AI targeting, which in some cases completed task of guiding drone to target aircraft. Even a few kilos of explosive were enough to set 4-engine aircraft ablaze, multi-million-dollar strategic bombers destroyed by drones costing less than smartphones. The implications terrify NATO planners. According to reporting, Pentagon officials studied Operation Spiderweb with mix of anxiety and envy. Anxiety about protecting US bases from similar attacks, envy of tactical innovation American forces haven't pioneered. If Ukrainian operatives can smuggle container loads of drones hundreds of kilometers behind enemy lines, then launch coordinated strikes destroying strategic assets, what prevents adversaries from deploying identical tactics against Western air bases? Ukraine's fight against Russian tanks surprised troops on both sides. Russian tankers no longer fear javelins. They fear the buzzing overhead, signaling $500 FPV drones hunting turret roofs their armor cannot protect. Ukrainian forces shifted from expensive Western missiles, 35% kills, to cheap domestic drones, 65% kills, through economic necessity that became tactical advantage. And both militaries raced to develop protection, Russia leading with hedgehog armor, Ukraine copying innovations while perfecting offensive drone employment. The 7-strike average proves drones aren't precision weapons, they're volume weapons, overwhelming defenses through sheer numbers. Ukraine's 400,000 monthly production divided by 7 equals 57,142 potential kills monthly if all drones targeted armor exclusively. The actual number is lower. Drones target infantry, artillery, logistics, but scale demonstrates why Russia cannot win through tank superiority alone. The anti-tank revolution surprised Russian troops because Soviet doctrine emphasized armored warfare superiority. Modern Russian tanks, T-90M, T-80BVM, upgraded T-72B3, feature advanced armor, active protection systems, sophisticated fire control. Yet they burn from $500 drone strikes targeting vulnerabilities no engineer solved. Turret roofs must remain relatively thin for weight distribution, and hatches must open for crew access, creating permanent weak points. Ukraine didn't invent drone warfare, they perfected it through battlefield necessity. And now NATO studies Ukrainian tactics while Russian troops learn the hard way that 21st century anti-tank weapons cost $500, not $200,000. Do you think tank crews can adapt fast enough to survive drone-saturated battlefields? Share thoughts. Subscribe for modern armor warfare. Thanks for watching.